I mean, I gotta say, I was surprised by the trailer. I don't want to be too pessimistic because I like the trailer a lot, but as a long time Capcom fan, I gotta say the trailer, I feel like it was, don't get me wrong, I could critique it. It was a little bit rough around the edges here and there, but for the most part, the trailer was awesome. And the problem with that is it was so good, it puts me in this spot where it's just like Capcom just doing things in a way that just, as a fan, just has left me feeling some kind of way about the company and their IP. I've been pessimistic for on the brand for over 10 years now, and hesitant to let myself be excited about this trailer that's otherwise badass, because the problem is I've done this song and dance before with Capcom and with other fighting games. Street Fighter Cross Tekken, one of my most disappointing games ever. I was consuming everything they were dropping for that game. I was so excited for that game. Even to this day, I still lament what they did with that game and how in another world, another timeline, that could have been something so much better, and that just, they ruined it. Then we had Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and that whole fiasco, and then, you know, the stuff that was going on with Resident Evil at the time, the stuff that was going on with, at the time, the Ninja Theory, DMC, Devil May Cry, and Dante or Dino or whatever version of name you want to use representing this character that is definitely not Dante. Asuda's Wrath, that was a game that really wasn't a video game, that could have been a video game, and it could have been really dope because I was hoping it would be some kind of like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, God of War meets God of War style thing. It was none of that. It took a while for them to finally get back on track, and we have. And a lot of their games are really looking great now with Resident Evil 2 and 3. Well, 3 was kind of yeesh, but 2 was good, and 7, everybody liked 7, and they did 8 and or Village or whatever. And Monster Hunter World was a big hit. They're doing a lot of good. Devil May Cry came back. It's great. It was great, beautiful. They were making big strides in a good direction. The only place that they hadn't quite picked it up in was in their fighting game division. Which leads me back to what I was saying about the same song and dance, like I mentioned with Cross Tekken, being hyper excited in the very beginning, and then later on, over time, I start seeing more and more about the game, and it starts to sour my feelings on the game. And it's just like, oh no, what is happening? What are you guys doing? I even started, this is just a thing that's happening with modern fighting games even. Street Fighter 5, I kind of already was feeling some kind of way about it from the beginning. I wanted to be into it, and I was excited at certain points, but then the more I started to see of it, I was just like, oh no, what is this? Then even with Grand Blue Fantasy Versus and Guilty Gear Strive, these games where I look at them and I'm like, at first glance, I'm like, these look so good. Everything about it is beautiful. Only to then see more of the game and then start to feel some kind of way about it. I'm just like, oh no. So when I see this trailer for Street Fighter 6, I'm conflicted because I don't want this to be the same song and dance where I'm looking at this and I'm like, this trailer's so awesome. It looks so cool. It gets me excited for the future of Street Fighter, only to finally get the game and it's just Capcom all over again. And I don't want it. I don't want that to happen, and because I know that's a very real possibility, it makes it difficult for me to allow myself to be excited. Like, I had to really sit there and do some mental gymnastics in my head to really allow myself to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna pretend that it's a proof of concept trailer. And that mental gymnastics is what I had to do in order for myself to just simply allow myself to just let go and just enjoy Street Fighter again. It's just like a way to safeguard myself because it's been a decade of this shit. Okay? It's hard to just let yourself enjoy when you've been burned so many times. That being said, let's actually talk about the trailer.